Welcome everybody. This is Gup here. Going to do a little tutorial this evening on some upgrades to the green machine. Going to try to get a few videos out this week. This one, and as soon as we kind of get the NFL tool package locked and loaded, I'll run through it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but still want to talk about it. I'm going to highlight the golf tools tonight just to show you if you've never seen them. I'm going to do an in-depth kind of review of them for everyone later on this week, maybe next week, depending on how everything goes. Hopefully this week. I think this week got a little more time. I'm going to try to do that, maybe show some stuff that I've been asked before in the past. But first, we're going to start with the old green machine. As you can see, if you're a content member, you get all this and all this. Get access to the Slack no matter what. Podcasts are here. Go check out the store and buy some gear if you want. And then tools package, you need the full site membership to get that. Right now, you get 25% off anything with a 7-day free trial. Use the code NFL. That'll get you your 25% off. If you're a current member, you can decide you want to try this out after watching the video, DM me on the GC Warrior Room Slack or over in the Twitter machine, and I will get you your loyalty code. So we'll hop into the green machine real quick. Any slate that's live with pricing already will be loaded in here. So in NASCAR, UFC, stuff like that is up. It'll be in here as well. Right now, here's the ones we got. I'm going to start with the NFL. I've kind of got this one preloaded. I don't want you guys taking all your time. I just want you guys to see it, and then you can ask questions. The college football one, I'll go through it as well. Very similar, but we'll have a little more tweak in there to show you the ins and outs. So I'll do the classic slate. I got the week one loaded. Just doing 20 lineups for here. You can do up to how many ever you want. Set your min-max salaries that you want. You'll notice here, if you've already built before and you got loads of lineups already built, you can go here and skip all this next thing. I'll show that here in a little bit. But if you make changes or tweaks, you always have to save. The nice thing about here is it works on the iPad, the iPhone. So if you're building your player pool as the week goes on, you know, for golf or NFL or whatever, you can do it on your phone, save it, then we hop over to computer, it'll be there, or vice versa. You can save stuff in here. If you look on your computer, on your phone or iPad, it'll be there as well. If you're listening to the audio version, obviously, probably better to go check out the YouTube, but I did want to post it on audio because I know we have a lot of people that listen to audio only. So I wanted you to know that we are loading this tutorial video up, and anybody can see it. It's going to be public, so you can go check it out. So go to the next step. And the first time you load, especially some of these really like college football, times are going to be like 1,000 players because they include basically anybody that's on the roster. A whole bunch of min price guys, so it gets out of hand. But NFL isn't too bad. So generally, and you'll see on a little later, you'll come here and nothing will be selected. So it'll show 0, 0, and it'll kind of have a range of where your target is. I always say you could be under it, and that's fine. If you're over, you're going to have difficulties building lineups. But, you know, and let's see. So you can see, like, if I just selected him, shows over, went up to 40. But I got 5 quarterbacks selected, 7 running backs. This is 20 lineups, 17 wide receiver. I just randomly did these just to kind of get a build going. You can, you know, obviously uncheck these just to see the quarterbacks only, wide running backs only. If you prefer to do it that way, or if you see everybody, it'll be they're in order. So widen that out just a little bit. You can go down all the way you want. Obviously easier to select that. So you get your player pool built based off of whatever rankings you got. I will have my ownership projections just like golf and everything loaded into here once we go live for week one. So you get a nice pool, your salaries green, or if it's under that, that's fine. I mean, you can still build. I think over you get real difficult. So go to next step. So here's some of the rules you got. You can create a stack. So here's a stack I created. I'll just delete it and recreate it. So we sort by team in here, so it's easier for you to build a stack. You got Hopkins, Kirk, Moore, Edmonds, and Murray. In this stack, I want to lock Murray. So basically you're saying I want Murray with whatever. You can do you know, at least two, at least three, at most two, three, exactly three. If you only want 3-man stacks, however you want to do it, you can do it right here, you know, and then you can pick how many lineups you want that stack in, you know, so maybe it's 5 here. Let's think of what I had before. You can create another stack if you want. So if you got all kinds of different little mini stacks you want to do throughout the week, you can do it just like I just did, save them. Here you can prevent tight end from flex. You know, maybe it's a week where we talk about, you know, Kelsey's like a wide receiver, so it's okay if he's in the flex, or, you know, it's okay to have double tight end weeks or whatever. So you don't check that. But if you only want your tight end showing up in tight end only, you would check this. I'm going to leave it off for this one. And then you go to next. So here you'll see I've already got this one completed. When we go over to the college football one, we're actually going to go through it together. I didn't want to do two and take up all your time. I just kind of want to show you. When you get here, it'll be defaulted to 0, 0, 0. What I do is I go equal exposure, and it'll shift it all down, do it equal exposure by position. And then I tweak from there. And what we do here is, so you'll see, you can have all these be green, but until you have 140 flex position, which in NFL has to be running back, wide receiver, or tight end, it won't turn green. So, you know, you're going to have 20 quarterbacks and 20 lineups. Obviously, you have to have at least 40 running backs, 60 wide receivers, and 20 tight ends allocated, you know, through here, and then 20 defenses. And then you have to have another 20. What I did, I have 5 extra running backs, 12 wide receiver, 3 tight ends, since I didn't prevent tight end from being in the flex. And you'll play with these until you get your exposure, your salary exposure, your flex exposure, all green. Once all this is green, you're pretty good to go. Salary exposure, you could be on the light side again if you want to. Heavy, it's going to be hard to build. You divvy all these up. You can lock players. If you want a guy in every single lineup, no matter what, say you're going defense, you can lock them and it'll put them in all 20 no matter what. You make any changes up here, it will change there. So you just have to, you know, be aware of how you want that to be. Can't remember who I did now. Was it so like under is fine, that doesn't matter. You know, you could be heavy, you could be light, or you can be light. I just wouldn't be heavy, would be my main deal. You know, as you tweak this, it's not going to let you go until it'll let you go. You can always hit build, you're just gonna have difficulties on them going. So you would save your changes here, and then you would generate lineups. Now I've ran this already, so I'm just going to jump to lineups. Anytime you build a lineup, it's going to save that build, and you always go back to it if you want. You can see here, I was able to get all 5 of my stacks. Well, actually, this one didn't. Here it shows your total exposure to the players. You can lock lineups and then regenerate. So like right here, I think this is one of my original builds. You know, it only built 19, you know, and so we can go back. I think even here, this was like 12, maybe 11, you know, so what I would, don't get frustrated there. Just sometimes it takes a little while to build through it all. You can lock the ones you like or edit these, you know, so you can hop in here and go, man, I love this lineup, but I really don't want whoever. You know, I want to change the defense. I got $700 left. Go up here. I'd rather have the Washington defense and hit save changes. And then it fixes that one lineup. And then you can lock, let's just say we like all these. You can lock the lineups and then hit regen unlock. So everyone that's locked stays. If you left some of these unlocked, they would go away and you'd keep the other ones, and it'll regen it and come up with some more, you know, so this one, there we go. We got, you know, we got 20. So now we got 20 lineups built on that regen. If you don't like some of the exposures, if they're not exact, sometimes it has to do with the salary restrictions you have or whatnot. You can go through. And so now we got 4 of our 5 stacks. So we wanted 5 of this stack option. We got 4 of them. So that's pretty good. But if you want to go tweak here live. Once you have it where you want it, you just hit export. Pop up here. I don't know where this is going to pop up, but there we go. Kind of see it a little bit. There's some of the golf stuff. and you got your 20 lineups, you're ready to load into your contest stuff, straight into DK. Very, very simple and easy. So let's go over to college football, kind of show you a little step through. It's got the Thursday night game, preloaded another 20 lineup deal. Like I mentioned, it takes a little while to load them the first time you come through the screen, especially college football. So here I got 38 people selected. Salary looks good. 7 QBs, 13 running backs, 18 quarterbacks. Same deal. You can filter by that. No big deal. That's easy. Pick your player pool. So here we got, if you want your quarterback to be forced into the super flex, you can check that. So I have it checked because I want, in this particular setting, maybe go by, Bobby tends to talk about, hey, well, you may, this slate, you may need, you can not have a quarterback in there. Sometimes you could, or you can do your own rule, however you want to do it. But let's just say we want the super flex and the regular. So we're going to need 40 quarterbacks is basically what that's saying. You can create stacks just like you do in NFL. I don't know how many people use stacks here per se, but you know, I'm not going to create one right now, but you can do it the exact same way. Continue next step. So now you'll see what I was talking about. We don't have anything selected, so we need to get everything looking green. What I start with is equal exposure. It's the easiest thing for me to go with. You'll see on quarterback, because we selected the super flex option, you have to have 20. You can up to 40. Then running back and wide receiver, min 40, min 60, but we have to have 160 total because we have the flex and the super flex. So we got to keep that in mind. So I'm just going to go, you know, so what you'll do is, you know, basically you're building your pool and doing your exposures here. We've got 28, we want 40. He's kind of expensive. So as you do it, you'll be tweaking to get this right and keep your average player right and keep your total salary exposure in the proper settings. So you may get, because if you get too heavy on the expensive guys, you just won't get the build you want. Let's see, is that one too many? 39. So, you know, there we go. So I got 40 quarterbacks. Now I need 20 more, either running back or wide receivers. All tight. There's no tight ends in college. They classify them all as wide receivers. And generally, if you're doing a real pool, you'll kind of know exactly where you want, who you want, where you want them, what you want your exposure. I'm just clicking through here to kind of show you guys how you do this. So we need 4 more guys. Click through here. So you can see I got one. I'm glad I did this. So I got 160, but I'm over by 5,300. So I'm probably heavy on some expensive guys. So I'm going to go through, you know, maybe I drop this down, go up there. Let's look at running backs. You know, drop a couple of these expensive ones, pick up some cheap guys. Still over a little bit. So I'm going to go there and be light here. Get a couple. There we go. So you work through it like that. Obviously you would have priorities of who you want and how much you want of them. But essentially you want to work through until you get all this green. If you're a little light here, that's perfectly fine. We save, and now we generate lineups. You can tell I hadn't generated any yet for college football. So it'll come up as 1. Nice. So first go at it, we got 20 lineups straight up. So generally, I mean, that's good because your pool's built right. You're not short. You're going to have a quarterback and all that. Then you just kind of go through here. And if you see anybody that you're way heavier on than you want, or, you know, oh, Stroud, didn't get much of him in the build. You know, you can go down here and edit it. That's the easiest way to do it. Just edit it. Instead of regenerating it, if you just want to get a few of these guys plus minus to work out correctly, or you can regen. If you go, I don't really like how this build is, just, you know, you can hit regen and it'll rebuild 20 more for you, or close to. Sometimes it may be lighter on it. And And then you use that lock feature I talked about, and so on and so forth. So you may look at this one and go, oh, really? That one's pretty good. I'll take it. Export it. You're good to go. Like I mentioned, so we got golf. You can do golf. You can do stacking with golf. I hadn't done anything with here. So, same deal. Select your guys. Here, you're probably going to play all of them this week. If you're doing an MME, if you're doing enough, we'll talk about that. Continue next step. You can create rules. So maybe you go, in every lineup, I want Rom, Finau, JT. I want one of these. So you'd go at least one in all my lineups. Say the stack, good to go. You can create rules like that. Just real quick, if you're new, I don't want to keep you too long, show you, so here's our, let's go live tournament tools for golf. If you hadn't seen them, show you a little preview. I'm going to do another update. I have a tutorial already for these, so you can go check it out. We'll pull up last week since this week didn't have much in it. You can see our live leaderboard, scorecards here. You can go 2-par, strokes, DraftKings, each round. So you can look at here and you see, where they scored at, how many points they scored per hole. We got the round scoring. If you have true waves, you'll see that there was no waves per se last week, but you can see the wave split on scoring when we have big fields. You can see which holes are playing the hardest here. You go to the event, or you can do each round. So all week, you can kind of see where it was easy. Looks like 18 was the hardest hole all week last week. We got our live stat board. You can download it, all your strokes gain stats. You can look at it per round for the event by round. So this will show you trends, especially maybe putting. You want to see if a guy is trending upward or negative. Oof, that's so crazy by Cantley. Love it. I've been on the other side of getting beat by that, so I'm going to take it this week with the win. This will show your wave splits on these scoring, these key stats here we look at. Fairways, greens, proximity. You can kind of see fairways hit, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we have live tee times as soon as they're up. You get the weather report, then DK salaries and stuff like that. So that's our live leaderboard. You can check all that out. I don't know. I doubt we have a live cut sweat tool. I don't think it'll generate right now. I'll test it since the event's not started. It may let me, yeah. Okay, so normally we have our full here to give you your 6 of 6 percentages, all that kind of stuff. When I do the full tutorial, I'll pull this up and with the live event and show you all the breakdowns of, the contest we load in there, which are all the big ones that people play. Then we go to our research center. So here you can kind of get all the kind of research you want besides building the model. So if it's for the event, we can go to the leaderboard. There's a tour championship. You can select or unselect whatever. Maybe 2018 was a washout, so you don't want to include that. If you do, you can do that. We go to strokes gained. You can see who's done well here and what categories. This has all years. We can go to round data, leaderboard, so maybe I want to see strokes gain leaderboard. Maybe I want to show me what DJ's done. So this will give you every round that DJ's shot at this course, how he's played it, how he's done well. Or you can download the whole CSV, see it all, do it in your own, add it to your own spreadsheet stuff. If you want to do that, you can look up any player. You can show all this, show your DFS scoring if you want to see that. There's a summary. So it's kind of tell you like guys that finish in the top 5, what they've scored well on as a whole, top 10, so on and so forth. Probably better for big tournaments. Up here, you can, maybe you want to see recently. I just kind of want to see what's going on recently. You could select, select the last 6 tournaments or so. Only want to see 2021. leaderboard here and just go who's been, kind of look at who's been playing well, download it. Again, you can go, let me just see, how has Dustin been doing recently, and well, it's got Zach in there too, but you put his full name and it would obviously just bring him up. So you can see how he's played those courses you had select recently. Or maybe you want to look long-term, you can do that too. This shows all players, but you can do field only. So in this instance, you wouldn't see Zach because he is obviously not here. You can do all that with scoring. You can do it, everything I just showed you, you can see all the features here. Don't want to go too much into it, but just give you a little quick overview. If you've not checked out our PGA Research Center field research. So this will give you your last 24, your last 48. So maybe you want to see the last 48. Who's leading tee to green? Rahm. Shocking. Morikawa, then Cantley. If you want to go detail, let's say I want to see the last 48 for Connors. So it's going to show you his last 48 rounds. This will also help if you're, depending on how you're pulling your models, you can see what courses are being pulled into those numbers. So if we come over here, this is going to show everybody. So maybe we want to see, well, who's been putting the lights out? Probably, Cantley isn't up there. So even with last week, Answer's been putting good. Usi's been putting good. And then you may look at that and go, I want to compare that to their long-term because of, are they, running hot right now or they're about on, trending good. A lot of good things in here. And then we have the course, obviously. It gives you each hole, distance, how many eagles, birdies, all that kind of stuff. This is what I use to tell if that kind of stuff's important for the week. You look at it, obviously, if a club had changed year to year, you can look at the different years and see how that affected it. So pretty nice little research center there. A lot of stuff you can dive into. And then lastly is our model builder, which is just basically like anybody else's, probably a little bit different, but easy enough. So you come in here and you want to build a custom model and go, obviously, sometimes you just want to look at the whole year. Maybe you're looking at season long stuff before your big pools at the beginning of the year, stuff like that. This is helpful. But if you want to look at the field only, let's say I want to look at tee to green, we'll call that, you can name these whatever you want, but I want to look at strokes gain, irons, birdie or better. I'll just pick 4 here, and then good drives. You can select your rounds. So let's say I want to look at the last 24 rounds. I want them to have at least 4 rounds, and then you can pick the day. Let's say I only want to include stuff since April 1st. You can pick whatever you want there. If you want certain courses, so this would be good if you're trying to do a course fit deal. You can pick, I only want to look at certain courses because it plays like East Lake. Or you can just say, this is more of I just want to see how they've been playing the last 24 rounds. I don't care where they played. This green, you can select the putting surface if you're going to look at putting stats or anything, grass type, stuff like that. You have that ability. The rough, you can look at all or just certain ones. If you don't know what a stat category means, we have the dictionary there. It'll show you our definition, like good drives. That's the one that some people, so for us, so I rate at which player hits an accurate drive further than 50% of the field for a given hole. So they still hit it accurate, but they're also some length, which I think will be important this week. And then here you go. All right, I want strokes gain, tee to green. Let's just say we're going to do it all even. You weight it however you want. Strokes gain irons, which is a combination of approach and around the green. Birdie or better. So I'm going to go scoring rate, birdie or better. Good drives. So I'm going to go driving, good drives, 25%. Again, you can weight it however you want. Just, we want it to equal 100. If you wanted to use local data, so let's act like this was putting, you could go local data. And for this stat only, you could say, let's just act like that was putting. I can go, I still want the last 24 for same time period. But because this is putting, it's not putting. But if it was putting, I only want to see Bermuda this week. you could do that, and that'll be that local means it only applies to this stat. So that's a cool feature if you want to utilize that. So I got that. You just got everything checked, good to go, build model. Literally takes seconds. And it'll come up and tell you if you don't have something right or your settings are too tight, too restrictive, type of deal. You see stuff down here, that means you're good to go. Come over here to model output. You can take a look at it on the screen. So ROM's my number one, and it tells you here's a 4, just in case you forgot. You got 100% total weight. It shows you the rankings on each individual statistic. Then you can just click it and go output, just like earlier. And now if you enjoy building your own spreadsheets and stuff and you want to pull different things in, now you got your full model there, and it tells you the weighting on how all that turned out. So just a little quick preview of that in case you hadn't seen the golf tools. I think they're awesome. We're going to be enhancing them a little bit throughout the fall swing as well. Hopefully this helped with the green machine. I'll do more as you got, and we'll have our NFL stuff coming soon. We're gonna have the stat engine, red zone, the scouting report, which is awesome. Weekly projections, all that ownership from me, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna be ready to go for the fall, and really appreciate all you guys. If you guys want to upgrade, surely appreciate that too. Hopefully we've proven to you what we can bring. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Twitter or in the GC Warrior Room. If you're not a member yet, come join us. NFL 25% off, full site or content only. 7-day risk-free trial. Come give us a try. There's just a piece of everything we got. Quick little less than 30-minute deal. If you guys want to see other stuff, let me know and I'll do videos. This week's going to be, we only got 30 men. There's only so much you can do in golf. No NFL. Bobby's got college football on lockdown. I'll help out as needed and where I need to. He's got his third baby on the way, hopefully no later than Thursday. So good luck to him. Hope you guys have a good evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Cup with Gup. Have a blessed night. Talk to you later.